the intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Hey everybody, welcome. We've got brand new patch here, starting with Legacy here, part 1. And as you can see by our beautiful Gates McFadden and Patrick Stewart, we've got Jean-Luc Picard, we've got Beverly Crusher from Star Trek Picard, but it's a little bit different than what you've seen before, so really curious to see what everybody thinks as we get deeper and deeper into this one, including going over some of the things that aren't discussed in the notes. So as always, that's why you come to the channel, that's why you focus on the rev, and that's why I like the video. Go ahead and like it. I feel like you're going to like this month. As long as Scopely can execute when it comes to the events, I think most people are going to be pretty happy with some of the updates to this month. So let's go ahead and jump into the process. Legacy Part 1, you see talking about the Fenris Rangers here, getting kind of the story line. Star Trek Fleet Command Update 52 will bring with you the following: Mess Hall, which is a brand new building. This building does start off at level 15 and it's not ops locked. However, it's based around your officer levels. So completing higher levels into your officers will allow you to unlock more bonuses from the building. It's an interesting concept, and as a lot of players have been asking, hey game, please stop making so many things level locked. Well, this stops making things level locked. It's now based on a different mechanic, which I'm very interested to see how you take advantage of this with your gameplay and how you move things around and what players choose to do. Now, this mess hall is going to give you a boost to officer stats, research speed, and ship component titanium cost efficiency. You're also getting a brand new faction this month, which, yes, that means more research. Yes, we talk about power creep, but there's also good in there. One of the things that many of you players have been asking for a long time is less grind in the game. There's a new hostile here called Freebooter Hostiles, but if you complete some researches in this brand new research queue, thanks to the Ex-Borg faction, which does have a little bit of a readme here, you can check out on the Star Trek Fleet Command website. Yo, listen, do a little bit of this research, and it'll actually complete your dailies all by hitting hostile. So want to complete your FKR dailies, those Federation Klingon Romulans? Well, now you can do it quicker and get multiple at a time. So there's going to be some grind saving, additions here in this month. Now, real quick, before anybody asks, level 38. Level 38. That's when you'll get access to this new faction. So, well, good and bad, I guess, for everybody. Well, there's at least stuff for everybody, but hey, the grind stuff, I'm honestly happy about the grind stuff. We'll talk about more as we get deeper in. So for Fisha has a new refit, just like the Stella just got a refit. Whip out your old wallet for that one if you want it, I guess. New officers, new missions, and much more. A little bit more on the building, talking about how crew level works. You can see the mess hall does have its own readme as well that we can come over here. Starting at Ops 15, so this is available to everybody. And I'm real curious to see how high people start leveling it up. If you have 100 officers and all are level 10, crew level is 1,000, increasing your total level, boost everything up. Fleet commanders do not count towards this. But there's the buffs, and here's the basics of how it works. You will need 100 mess hall keys that will be sent directly to you in a gift chest. That's how you'll get it. And honestly, before y'all get it, I do want to know your thoughts. If you're watching this video, let me know what you think about this idea. I like the idea that this building has 99 levels and is not based on your ops. That makes it a very unique and honestly, maybe more valuable than normal buildings, and really curious to see what players think about this moving forward. All right, so let's move down to this Ex-Borg faction. You'll see new faction which players can progress by defeating the Freebooter Hostiles in Ex-Borg space. So new hostiles, new areas of the map, new features being added to the game. This is available in a holodeck mission for level 38 plus players. And go ahead and bring in all the angries. And I'm sure I'll be going through a ton of Discord messages talking to players about the fact that there is more content for a lot of players, but most of the players are getting left out. But at least there are some significant things being given to everybody, like through the mess hall, and it's not level gated in its progression, so balances. Ex-Borg accumulate vast knowledge when they are still members of the collective and are now ready to share this with their allies. Gain favor will gain access to new faction store and Ex-Borg research tree which provides significant efficiency parts that increases returns and speed in other gameplay activities, including different factions and ship loots. So we're talking about how can this game improve grind times? How can this game make it to where it doesn't take as long to do things? Well, that's exactly what it's trying to do. It is going to have research that improves your daily grinding, and as you read here, also helping with certain ship loops. Guess you'll just have to wait and see what that means as we get into the game, but it's a good thing, I promise. My only real negative personal gripe is that this is level 38 plus content. Yes, we've been getting a lot of content for 30 plus over the past year with the Amalgam, the Bajoran faction in the Defiant, the Talios update for Borg. All these things have truly given more to the 30s, but still, I know there's going to be a lot of players out there feeling like they're missing out on a lot of good things. So we'll just keep moving. Here are the officers, which a very interesting Admiral Picard here. Captain maneuver. We're back to having captain's maneuvers, ladies and gentlemen. Captain's maneuver here is going to be at the beginning of each round. It gives an increased chance of flying morale, which sounds interesting. It's base 90%, which is a very interesting number because you don't need synergy. Like just having him is good. And then look at the officer ability. It increases base weapon damage on your explorer when fighting another explorer. And these are not small amounts. In fact, if you had a max Picard, you're talking about your Enterprise getting a 3,000% damage boost against other explorers. That would, well, honestly, that'd probably beat EST. So that's a power. Now, granted, you'd be requiring him to be maxed, but that's a pretty big deal. That's going to be interesting. We'll see how that rolls out because Legacy seems to have very anthology feels in that you kind of feel like we're going to be going through a lot of different things here in terms of styles and arcs. But that's interesting. And then we've got Beverly. Critical condition. When hit, increases crit damage by X% against hostiles, cumulative. I'm honestly curious, does this work against things like armadas or only reds? Because if it's only reds, I don't really see a point in it wasting my time. But below deck ability, because officer ability, then below deck ability. I think I said captains, apologies. Below deck ability and officer ability. Below deck ability is organ donor, increases the amount of broken parts dropped by hostiles by X%. That actually has some value, and that is something that would get thrown on my grinder. It truly, truly would. That has value for me as a player in Star Trek Fleet Command. Now, here's your new refit and projectile. The Fuchsia is getting a new rare refit. And yeah. Mining speed, 200,000. It's pretty nuts. And then new refinery bundles that's going to help with your latinum and ship parts. So, anyway, then you got the Borg cannon projectile, which is increasing hull health by 30%. Not the biggest gain, but still something that you will notice an impact. New research, 4 new prime nodes. Ex-Borg research tree will give you cost efficiency to G4 and G5 parts for ships. That's going to be a big deal for a lot of those who are willing to spend. Then you got the prime weapons damage, which is another 200% for damage. It's not that big of a deal, but everything does add up and help. That's for level 40 plus. And then prime ship repairs, lowering the base cost of repairing those ships, starting for level 40 plus players. You've only got 10 missions this go around, but you've also got the 10 side missions, so that's going to be pretty helpful, I hope. Anyway, I also want to point out that the battle pass is supposed to be, according to our friends at the dev squad, more valuable than normal. The actual battle pass itself is supposed to be getting even more in it, more value, more yum. So hopefully that's the case. Here's your avatars and frames, several different ones. We're going to have an April Fool's event, as you can kind of tell here. Admiral Picard, Ex-Borg, Hugh avatar. Hugh is actually like the main part of, I think he's the splash character for the Ex-Borg faction that we got here. Then you see we've got the Mac launch avatar coming out. For those that missed it, Mac finally has their own client, just like PCs do, which I know many of those players have been asking for quite some time. We got the K9 avatar. We've also got St. Patrick's Day avatar we're going to be giving out. Frames, and then more Haley frequencies. We got Sarcastic Kirk, number 1, K9, and then Odo in a bucket. Then we've got bug fixes. So lots of these. You see several different things getting added and a lot of fixes. Again, these are things that we like to see. Improvements where a player's username in the game instead of commander. That's pretty nice. That's pretty a neat little feature. I wouldn't say it's super important, but it's neat. I don't mind it. More autofills default password for accounts don't require manual password input on some builds. I think that was to help with the Apple issue, but not real sure on that one. Make improvement to remove hull condition for Fleet Commander Locutus and Nerd Nano skill. And then improvement the per round officer abilities of the Borg Queen from 200 to 500 and Gozo 120 to 300, which I think they actually did last month already, right? They're just kind of writing that down. But you see a lot of different things added here. And honestly, we could sit here and go through a lot of them, but like where the alliance button gives stuttering and unclear feedback when clicked, I mean, that's fine. Unresponsive buttons, those are actually useful, like that one. The help request and ask for help tabs are missing. That's useful to have those working. Where new gym hostiles wouldn't count generic kills. Issue where scanning a player's base with 8 docs, the error would occur. Default error title, that's actually a really good fix. There are some good ones in here. There's aren't like just a bunch of random things that don't technically fix anything. These are good things. So, yeah, I'll be curious to see what everybody thinks is their favorite bug fix, because there's got to be at least 25 listed here, and I didn't go through the list before we started the show. So hopefully this gives you a lot of the answers you're looking for, because, well, the post doesn't cover everything, and hopefully this video covered some. If you liked it, as always, I ask you to do something real simple. Like the video, thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Be notified at your favorite place for Star Trek, Fleet Command, and Star Trek content. And also, real quick, haven't made a video about it yet, but my card game finally has its 2 starter decks released. So if y'all want to check that out, you're more than welcome to. But check out my Discord if you want information for that. Real quick, I just need you to do this. Live long and prosper. Stay safe out there, Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch y'all on the next exciting Star Trek episode. And don't forget to catch me on Twitch today. We're giving away battle passes. Out.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.